Good morning, fellow zombies. Yes, it's another darkened video again. Where she must be obeyed is sleeping, but I'm expecting her to get up and whine like crazy because I am up. It's July 14th on a Monday, 2025, and the time in this right now is way too damn early in the morning. 2:46 in the morning. So while I'm going over through the videos on YouTube, what was going on? Epstein files, Epstein files, Epstein files. I'm trying to see the relevance. How is it relevant to me? How is the Epstein files, which were recorded in last term of this asshole that we've got in president right now, how is the Epstein files related in any way, shape, or form to my interests or survivability or anything? Except it has to deal with billionaires and old Trump face. I kept trying to think, what the hell is all this damn shit? I see the obfuscation. I see the song and dance routine that the federal government's been doing. I can't say federal government anymore. I call it the trumplicant government. Because they got their fingers in every damn branch. So it's no longer to me the federal government. It's the trumplicant government. This week with George Stephanopoulos, one of the anchors that covers their show, was trying to talk to one of the trumplicants of how Brazil and their security system, their situation, is important to the United States because it affects our national security. Not to mention also affects the trade. And I think the guy they're talking to is whoever's handling the trade. See, I need a scorecard to keep track of these schmucks. So he kept throwing out national security, national security, national security. I'm like, how is Brazil and their country affecting our national security over here? How is a trade surplus that if we've got positives with Brazil and we have no issues with them, how come we're treating them like they're the lower caste? We get coffee, we get nuts, we get supplies out of them. And treating them as if they're the enemy or they're worse, or criminals. I mean, there goes our food trade with these people. Which means if we're going to have Brazilian coffee, we're not going to have any more Brazilian coffee or even Colombian coffee. Because we've already affected trade like crazy. The prices are going up. Supplies are going to be limited. It's supply and demand, business 101. You screw up with the trades concerning about what we deal with on a constant basis. We deal with exports coming into the country. Actually, other countries' exports are imports. Yeah. But I don't know if we actually have any productions except for oil and stuff that we export out of our country. And importing food. Even some of the citrus that we deal with, if we are not dealing enough with the citrus in our own markets, we deal with products that are put into other things like bananas, banana flavoring, banana oil. We have food products depending upon bananas. We're going to have that trade screwed up. We're going to have banana prices going up. Single price of a banana is about 28 to 30 cents depending on where you go to. You get the organic or you get the regular stuff. I get regular stuff. Besides it's cheaper, I still get the bananas. They're still good. They're still edible. It's even worse is when you go over to liquor stores or mini marts, they have to deal with the leftovers. I like going over to the stores because they can keep them fresher a little bit longer. If they can. They get them fresh. And they're just as edible. But my banana prices are going up. Now I have to start really working on the pennies. When one is living on limited budget, and I mean severely limited budget, when you get one paycheck a month, doesn't matter which particular source, and you're only living on that particular paycheck, and you know how it is. You know what I'm talking about. Every damn penny counts. Sometimes, if you save a little bit, maybe there's an indulgence in there somewhere. Try this one for an indulgence. Okay. So we've already had Easter past. There was a lot of candy being sold. Yeah, I like Reese's. I like Reese's Pieces. I like Hershey Kisses. Love them as a kid. Still do it now these days. But chocolate prices go up. Cocoa beans turn into chocolate. There's processes for that. They're coming from outside the United States. We can't grow this stuff. We import it. But we can turn it into edible food and edible drink and something edible. I have been storing my candy for about a couple of years. I'm talking about the Reese's. Hard solidified chocolate. Keep it stored in the refrigerator all the time, just in case. Well, I don't know. I might need one of these here days, but it's stored. And then the Hershey's I still have until this past Easter. So now I'm starting to get into it because I got this chocolate peanut butter craze. This fixation. But I know if I happen to get any more candy, it's going to be costing me a lot more. I can look at the prices on Amazon for that crap, and it costs a hell of a lot. Just even in the stores. But only if I want this stuff. And I got the stuff I have, and I use it limited. I got cravings for it. But I have to cancel out the craving from one item to another item. Hence bananas. So if I start eating more of the bananas before they go rotten, I'll throw them in cereal. Every time I do a grocery run of sorts, it's like every 3 or 4 days you get fresh bananas. I love bananas. When it comes down for orange juice, it's usually a Tang and Gatorade mixtures. Stretch things out a little bit. I go through a lot of it. I drink a lot of it. I also drink a lot of water. I'm looking at the prices for things that I purchase. I'm mentally keeping track of the stuff, even though mathematics don't mix half the time anyway. But I'm starting to see more and more how mathematics in my world is affecting me a great deal. I just never bothered to admit it to myself. I tried to teach this old dog here a long time ago how to be an accountant. You got your debits and you got your credits, and they all have to add up and balance each other out. If not, the calculations were screwed up, some entry wasn't done right, or wasn't figured out, or something. I didn't take it to heart. But math is definitely important these days, especially when I'm dealing with the zeros and ones, and I'm dealing literally with zeros and ones. Zeros just mean you haven't got anything, or else it's added to a one somewhere. I have to make sure that I got enough funding to pay off bills, or half pay them, and then hope they can still keep up with that. I mean, if they don't shut me off. That is like I could try getting away with. But Spectrum, I need the internet. But I can do NSA with a PAP and then deal with it. I try to balance things out with that. So I have enough money for food and also surplus the next month that levels out the Edison bills a great deal. Since we're dealing with temperature increases this summer, I want to say it's about normal. Well, maybe. I don't know. It just feels off to me. So now I got to balance things out with the energy bills. Lights are not on as much. Certain lights and computers not on often as much. But if it is, then I have to think I'm going to be eating up the bills left and right. I've got a dog that deals not so well when it comes down for darkness. If you notice, the lighting is a bit off. It's not overhead, it's Christmas lights. I've had them on since last year. Have to give me a new strand. If we still have a market out there that's not going to jerk me up, maybe about $20 or $30 for a short strand. I use this for lighting in the house, actually from my bedroom, for my dog and me. Almost got used to it. Things we have to deal with, the things we use in our household, daily stuff. And sometimes we have to replace it and it costs more. Hence the trade situation, hence the trade war we got going on, hence the trade screw-ups that our government system, if you call it government anymore, they're laughing and smiling their faces off, trying to get their self on camera, trying to be giggly about it. And it's bad enough, I'm going to bring the gas bag in here. In a FIFA soccer game championship, when there was a trophy coming out, winning team was on the stage, and Trump being Trump. Now, let me back up on this one. For about a couple of weeks, we've had a championship happening out here in the United States. And there are places we would have the games. Los Angeles had one of those. But when the games are over, and we had I don't know what kind of an audience response we had over it, but it was pretty good. I'm not quite sure if ICE ever cleared out the stadiums or not. They're clearing out everything else. But Trump wanted to show that he was president of the United States, but worse off, who wasn't a fan of soccer. He was a fan of the damn camera. Yeah, camera. How about that one? A fan of the camera. He couldn't live without 2 seconds without being on a damn camera. He's got to have the damn thing stuck on his face. Now, you notice my camera angles always, I'm looking beyond. I'm looking at the audience away from the phone. Away from the camera phone. I'm not looking at it directly all the time and just, I like the camera, look at me, ooh. No. I'll talk about it in my own way, in my own relaxed state, and this is it. Don't like it? On it. I don't care. But when I have somebody hogging the camera all the damn time and wants to be a complete fool and idiot where he has to be dragged off a damn stage by his own aides and by the soccer commission, he's an embarrassment to himself. Our elected gas bag we got into office back in November 2024 is, he likes the attention too damn much. His ego's got to be fed. Everybody's got to pay fealty to him in one form or fashion. He's an embarrassment to our country and to himself. I'm not saying about his family. His family's already done more than that. So, and his vice president didn't do too well either by going over to Anaheim and trying to have a vacation at Disneyland. And he was met with people who did not admire J.D. Vance at all. Let's just say the signs were very informative of what Vance can do with himself. Now, bringing his family along to a vacation, that's his biz. But unfortunately, when he starts ruining people's lives, or in the process of it, like Noemi, Department of Homeland Security Noemi, yeah, she screwed things up with FEMA. A notification that she put out there to slow things down for processing and for doling out aid and also helping out people in disaster situations. Anything above a certain dollar amount, that she needs to get signed off on the damn thing. And she dragged her ass on the signatures, which meant people's lives were all in danger when it came down for the flooding in Texas. And they didn't give a shit. The trumplicants and Abbott didn't give a shit. Not as much anyway. They wanted the airtime for their publicity shots and their clips. Not caring enough about anybody. And my question is always, why was FEMA dragged into the Department of Homeland Security? There's no logic on that one. A disaster aid program? An agency that helps out with our people in the United States regarding disasters, even states need help with? Even a little bit long-term assistance? That's part of Homeland Security? Why? They want to make it better. They want a DOGE. They want a Department of Government Efficiency. They want efficiency. No, they just wanted to rake out as much money from the damn public. Pillage, pilfer, plunder. They're all pirates. Take a look at the muscle that we've got in the streets, chasing after people left and right. And hell, if you happen to protest, God forbid you should happen to protest, even just one guy with a sign, you get about 5 or 6 apes on your ass, tasing your ass, and First Amendment be damned. So if these videos are going to be outlasting me in one form or fashion, all these videos that we have out there talking about the Trump regime right now, or the trumplicant regime, I should call it. Originally, they were coming out of the MAGAs. Make America great again. Yeah, well, I called them maggots because they represented themselves. Actually, not represented, misrepresented themselves, and not to mention just replicated themselves even worse than flies. Speaking of which, I got one flying around. Pissed off that I'm up and still lighting over here pisses them off. So that's being said. And if that wasn't bad enough, she must be obeyed, is awake. She's stirring into the covers again. So much for our time together, guys. And that being said.